Vaishnav Sampradaya. Our acharyas have recognized Lord Narasimha Dev as a Paravashta avatar. Lord Narasimha Dev, Ramchandra, and Krishna are worshipped as the most important of all of the avatars because they manifest the greatest degrees of their supreme opulences, of the Supreme Lord. Sridhar Swami, who Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worshipped as the original commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam, accepted Lord Narasimha Dev as his Ishtadev, as did Shankaracharya and many other great acharyas, especially in the renounced order of life. In this verse, Sridhar Swami reveals that Lord Narasimha Dev not only does he enlighten Prahlad within his heart, but he always kills the nescience that attacks the devotees. What is that nescience? Lust, anger, envy, pride, greed, and illusion. These are various weapons of nescience. They attack our devotional creeper, try to kill our propensity to serve the Lord and love the Lord. Hiranyakashipu was a personification of this nescience. Prahlad Maharaj is truly the personification of bhakti or devotion. Hiranyakashipu, with all of his intelligence and all of his strength, all of his weapons, whatever he had, he tried to kill Prahlad. In the same way, nescience, all weapons, all associates, has declared war against the bhakti in your heart and will attack. Not a question maybe, is attacking and will continue to attack until Lord Narasimha Dev tears it apart. Like Prahlad, whether he was thrown in fire from the top of cliffs into a pit of venomous snakes, he realized he was helpless. He was only a child. His only protection was taking shelter of the Lord with sincere humility and devotion. In the same way, that is the only way that we can access the power and the mercy of the Lord to come to our aid to protect us when we are attacked. Now in warfare, oftentimes the enemy will plan out an attack where you don't even know you're being attacked until it's too late. It's a sunny day. Everything seems so peaceful and so nice. But the troops of the enemy are secretly surrounding you on all sides, even infiltrating through spies into your inner ranks. And we're thinking, how nice, such a good arrangement the Lord is making for me today. Let me relax. Even let me take a break and enjoy a little. After all, bhakti's difficult. But you're under siege at every moment. If the attacks are not manifested, you should know you're being attacked. It's just not manifested at the moment. But it will manifest. That's for sure. So therefore, a devotee who is intelligence takes shelter of the Lord in all situations. There's no safety in this material world. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. It is an illusion to think you can be safe in this world on the material platform. Therefore, a devotee knowing there is danger at every step, and in between every step, and in between what's between every step too, and everywhere else, in every atomic particle, danger is imminent in this material world. Just like we're sitting in this nice air-conditioned hall, and we're thinking, how nice. On the material platform, Pakistan has its bombs pointed right in this direction. Nuclear bombs. At the same time, we don't know what the ocean is going to do at the next moment. And we don't know what types of little bacteria and germs and viruses may be mobilizing their forces right within your body. Just ready to attack. Attacking. So a devotee is conscious of this reality. And a devotee is fearless and peaceful in all circumstances because a devotee has faith in the Lord's protection. Lord Narasimha Dev, as he killed Hiranyakashipu, he will protect the devotion within our heart by destroying all the enemy's attacks if we turn to him. Nescience is constantly attacking to destroy the bhakti in our heart, the same way Hiranyakashipu tried to kill Prahlad. And Hiranyakashipu, he had such a creative intelligence of how to kill Prahlad. The Bhagavatam only discusses a few ways he tried to kill him. Through fire, through water, through air, through wild animals, through snakes, through poison, through swords and tridents. But he was doing this every day for months and months and months. He was very creative. I mean, just what we hear about, that's very creative. In one place, he put him underwater and then put a mountain on top of him. Even the greatest serial killers have never thought of that one. So Maya Devi, who empowered Hiranyakashipu, she's all pervading in this material existence. And she has all her forces after everyone to kill the bhakti within our hearts. Therefore our acharyas tell, those obstacles that keep us from loving devotional service to Krishna can be removed by crying out for the mercy of Lord Narasimha. With his nails, he tears to pieces our lust, envy, anger, pride, greed, and illusion. And we need him. In the material sense, the Shastras, as well as tradition, teach that Lord Ganapati, Ganesh, removes impediments from the path. Now, many millions upon millions of materialistic people, they worship Ganapati for this purpose. I remember in 1970, I was in New Delhi, and I was just so enraptured by the experience of India. I had just arrived. And near Connaught Circus, there was a Ganesh temple. And I saw this family, they were worshiping with so much enthusiasm. They were doing pujas and chanting mantras, and some of them were weeping tears. And I was thinking, I want to be like them. I have never seen such worship like this. I was really inspired, and I sat there for about an hour and a half through this puja, and they were just chanting with so much intensity. And they were making offerings again and again, and there was yajnas going on, and I just wanted to hear. I was waiting for it to end so I can hear from them how I could be like them. Please teach me. So afterward I asked, can you tell me about this worship, please? Maharaji ki jai. Maharaj. Eager to hear. And I asked them, can you tell me about your devotion to the Lord and what you're doing? And the father said, yes. He said, I'm starting a new business. And I have a lot of competition, and I want to defeat my competition and make a lot of money. Therefore, we're doing this puja. Anyways, I left for the Himalayas after that. There must be something higher than this. So many materialistic people worship Lord Ganapati. Here in Maharashtra, you may have met someone like that sometime in your life. And what is the purpose? Ganapati, he will remove obstacles from the desires of your aspiration. And sometimes people stand in line for 6, 7, 8, 10 hours just to ask for something like good grades, or a nice wife or husband, or a raise in salary, or good grades in the exams, or unlimited such requests he's getting every day. But Sri Rupa Goswami, he says devotees can pray to Lord Ganesh to remove the obstacles from our spiritual path. And therefore we find, even in Vrindavan, just at the entrance of many temples, including our own, we find Lord Ganapati. Before we enter the temple, we pray, please remove the obstacles that is impeding me from really pleasing Radha Gopinath in my devotional service. Now Lord Brahma, in Brahma Samhita, he prays that Ganeshji, he has the power to remove obstacles because he is constantly worshipping Lord Narasimha Dev by keeping his feet on top of his head. And this worship of Lord Narasimha Dev has been established in every temple by Srila Prabhupada. In fact, perhaps in every ISKCON temple throughout the world, after every arti, there is the chanting of Lord Narasimha Dev's prayers. We should pray to Lord Narasimha Dev to remove the obstacle of this sound system. Haribo. Even at the time of Lord Krishna. Oh, Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada gave us this, sometimes people question, we are worshippers of Radha and Krishna. If you water the root of the tree, all the other parts of the tree are satisfied. What is the need of doing this mantra to Lord Narasimha Dev? But we see that it has been done even by the greatest souls. In Vrindavan, the home of Krishna, for the latter part of his Leela, was Nandagram. And even today, if you go to Nandagram, just on the other side of the Nanda Bhavan Mandir from Pavan Sarovar, there is an ancient temple with the deity of Lord Narasimha Dev. And it is said that because so many demons were attacking Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, all the Vrajavasis, their greatest concern was simply the safety of Krishna. They approached their priest, Gargarishi. And Gargarishi instructed Nanda Maharaj to worship and pray to Lord Narasimha Dev to protect Krishna. Just as we worship and pray to Lord Narasimha Dev to protect our Krishna consciousness. In Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, Nanda Maharaj appeared as Jagannath Mishra. Yashoda Mai appeared as Sachi Devi. Krishna appeared as Nimai. He was born on Palgun Purnima, while everyone was chanting the holy names. For 1 month after his appearance, he remained in a secluded place with his mother, Sachi Devi, before they actually went to their home. That is tradition in Bengal. During that time, many wonderful pastimes took place. One was, every time Nimai would cry, nothing could pacify him. And for all the residents of Navadvip who were gathered there, the relatives and friends of Sachi Mata, they loved this child. Just by seeing him and being seen by him, their hearts were absolutely conquered. There could be no material desires in his presence. Their only aspiration was to make him happy. And therefore there was nothing that could possibly pain their heart more than seeing him cry. But he wouldn't stop crying until they all raised their arms and loudly chanted the holy names. Haribol. He is one of the most pleasing personalities the world has ever seen. You will discover that on your own in due course of time. And Srila Prabhupada explains that from his very infancy, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, very pleased with loud chanting of the holy names. Just after he inaugurated this Harinam Sankirtan amongst the ladies of the house, the demigods came to have his darshan. But they wanted to play jokes on his family. So one demigod, he came semi-invisible in the form of a shadow, and he was just whisking through the house. And they saw the shadow. Some thought he was a ghost. Some thought he was a thief coming to steal the baby, or maybe haunt the baby. This was serious. Because Sachimata, 8 consecutive times, she gave birth to a daughter, and right in that little maternity home, they all died. Finally, she gave birth to one son, Vishwarup, but they were very concerned. Here is Nimai. He could also die. That was very much their experience. So she gave birth to him under a neem tree, because neem trees are considered to be very powerful to ward off the influence of evil spirits and ghosts. And she also gave him the name Nimai for the same purpose. So when they saw this ghostly personality, it was actually a demigod, what did they do to protect Nimai? They all screamed out, Narasimha, Narasimha. And the ghost kept whisking by, and other demigods started making different kinds of noises. And they were chanting mantras, especially crying out the names of Lord Narasimha Dev. And one Brahmin, he was doing Narasimha pujas, chanting mantras. And then he cried out to the ghost or the thief, whoever it could be. He said, "Today you are very lucky that you have escaped. You don't know the power of Lord Narasimha Dev." And all the demigods laughed. But we find here that to protect the little baby Nimai and to remove all obstacles from him growing up nicely, he turned to Lord Narasimha Dev. As the little baby infant of our own Krishna consciousness is being attacked by so many ghosts, the ghost of doubt, the ghost of envy, the ghost of laziness, the ghost of procrastination, the ghost of disunity between devotees, and of course the ghosts of the 6 anarthas: lust, envy, anger, pride, greed, and illusion. They are trying to kill that little Nimai within our heart, our propensity to serve Krishna. On another occasion, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after he established the Harinam Sankirtan movement, he was with Srivas Thakur, and he asked Srivas, who was performing a ceremony, he said, "Chant the Brihat Sahasranam." Srivas chanted. He came upon the name Narasimha. Upon hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered into the mood of Lord Narasimha Dev. Because we understand from the Vaishnava Shastras that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the loving mood of Srimati Radharani, covered by her golden complexion. And therefore, all the other incarnations, all the other expansions of the Lord in the various Vaikuntha planets are all within him. The potency of all of these avatars are within Krishna because he is the source of all of them. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually became Narasimha in his ecstasy. He began to roar. His hair stood on end, and his eyes became as red as fiery charcoals. Hare Krishna. And he picked up a club and ran out of Srivasa's house onto the streets, roaring that he was going to kill the atheists. Everyone on the streets of Navadvip, when they saw this form of Mahaprabhu, they were in absolute fear. They scattered in all directions and fled and hid in their homes. Soon the street was deserted. Lord Chaitanya came to his external consciousness and said to Srivas Pandit, look at what I have done. I have caused fear in all these innocent people. By doing so, I have made a great offense. When the Lord would enter into the mood of a devotee, he was the personification of humility. Srivas Thakur smiled. He said, no, my Lord. Anyone who takes your holy name even once sincerely destroys 10 million offenses. And anyone who saw you today in this mood of Lord Narasimha Dev will be liberated from the clutches of birth and death forever. On another occasion, the inhabitants of Navadvip, early one morning, they came to Lord Chaitanya's house with gifts, rice paddy, cloths, scents, fruits, coconuts, bananas. Whatever the best things they had, they brought to the Lord. Now these people were very special. They had such a deep longing to see Lord Chaitanya dance in Sankirtan. But they couldn't. Because at that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only performed Nam Sankirtan in the house of Srivas Thakur. The doors were locked, the windows were locked, and they didn't even have air conditioning. But they didn't need it, because they were transcendental. All this stuff, all these modern facilities are for people who are not so transcendental, actually. They would loudly cry out the holy names all night, every night, for one full year. And the egoistic Brahmins, they were not able to tolerate the insult of not being allowed in. They were spreading horrible, blasphemous rumors against Lord Chaitanya, Srivas Thakur, and all the devotees. And you know the saying, if you repeat a lie enough times, it's accepted as a truth. Well, they were just perpetually repeating these lies throughout Navadvip. This Srivas Pandit, do you know what he's doing? During the day, he and his cohorts, they go and find beautiful, young, innocent, virgin girls. They seduce them, bring them to their house, and at night, They fill them with all kinds of intoxicating beverages. And they're intoxicated as well. Then they perform tamasic, tantric rites. And then enjoy with them and eat abominable foods. And when you hear this screaming, that's what's going on in there. And people were believing it. He's polluting the whole Navadvip, these Vaishnavas. We cannot tolerate this. We should tear down the house of Srivas Thakur, throw it in the Ganges. We should grab Srivas and his brothers, tie them with ropes, and turn them over to the government authorities to punish, to torture, and to imprison. Hare Krishna. Meanwhile, the innocent people, they were praying and crying. We want to see Nimai Pandit dance. We have heard all about it. We want to participate in this kirtan. But because of these atheists, because of these envious people, they won't let anyone else in. And when the atheist persons would hear this, they would cry out, "He's one of them!" They would chase after them and intimidate them. Very difficult situation. So the innocent people came to the Lord in the morning after the all-night kirtan with gifts and prayers. They loved him. And that was the Lord, when the Lord first gave his instructions to the common people. He said, whatever you're doing, whether you're walking or sitting or eating or sleeping, whether you're working or relaxing, whether you're alone or with your family or in your shop or at home, you should take the name of Krishna. Always chant the name of Krishna. Constantly chant the name of Krishna. Never, for any reason, give up the name of Krishna. Krishna is your mother, your father, your real treasure of life. Krishna is your life and soul. And it's very simple. If you have instruments, play them. If there's no instruments, just clap your hands. With your family members, with your friends, or just by yourself. Clap your hands and chant these names. And I will give you a very special mantra, the Maha Mantra. 32 words, 16 syllable mantra. And according to my observation of the Vaishnava histories, this was the first time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no, second time, he gave to Tapan Mishra, that he gave the Maha Mantra to the world. He instructed them, chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And if you do this, you become my life and soul. So this became the greatest enthusiasm of Navadvip. The word spread to chant Hare Krishna and Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudha. These were the two chants that the Lord gave. And everywhere there was a clapping and playing of mridangas and kartals and singing the names of Krishna. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would go from place to place down the streets, and wherever he saw people chanting Hare Krishna, he was so obliged to them. He would embrace them, offer obeisances to them, put garlands on them with his own hands, anoint their every limb with sandalwood pulp. This is Mahaprabhu's love, although he's Krishna himself. In the role of an acharya, he's teaching people to love Krishna. And anyone who took to the path, even at the very beginning stages, became the life and soul of the Lord. The Lord was humbly serving these conditioned souls if they just accepted the name of Krishna. When we read Srila Prabhupada's biography, we find he was of the same spirit of compassion. In a place like Manhattan, the Lower East Side of New York City, all kinds of people were coming. Drug addicts, alcoholics, prostitutes, atheists, meat eaters, gamblers. They were coming in. And if any one of them just chanted Hare Krishna, Prabhupada would serve them with his life and soul. He would cook for them. I met one person. He was doing all the bad things. And he told me many years later, he said, because I agreed to chant Hare Krishna, Prabhupada would take me to his apartment. Or he would come to my apartment. He would cook for me. And he would preach to me. And he would make medicines for me when I was sick. Truly in the spirit of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So grateful for anyone who just takes to the process by which they can develop love of God, wanting nothing for himself. So in Navadvip soon, thousands and thousands of people were chanting Hare Krishna. And these Smarta Brahmins, who were so envious, they complained to the government in that area headed by Chand Kazi. Chand Kazi came down the streets and he saw this chanting. He was outraged because it was against the law. It was an offense to the government for any Hindu to demonstrate his religion in public. So he sent soldiers, over 100, to comb through the streets of Navadvip anyone that was caught chanting Hare Krishna or any name of God other than his own. They would be beaten, sometimes imprisoned, oftentimes plundered of all their wealth and property. People were fearful. And Chand Kazi himself was punishing devotees. He picked up mridanga and broke it. When the people came and told Lord Chaitanya about this, he said, "It's all right. Go on chanting. Have no fear. Go back home. Continue chanting. Krishna will protect you." They went back, but the persecution was getting worse and worse. When they told Lord Chaitanya about this, especially about the mridanga being broken, Mahaprabhu manifested his personified form as time, the destroyer of all. And he cried out, "Nityananda, bring the devotees, spread the message throughout Navadvip. Today, I will personally lead Nam Sankirtan through the streets of Navadvip. And we will go right to every bathing ghat, to every marketplace, and then to the house of Chand Kazi. I will stand before him like time personified. Let us see what he does to me. Today we will inundate the entire Navadvip Dham with a downpour of Krishna Prem through Harinam. Everyone bring a torch tonight." And they did. There were millions of people gathered. This was the show of all shows. To see Mahaprabhu dance, besides the most intimate associates who can fit in Srivasa's house, nobody had ever seen it. Lord Chaitanya divided the kirtan. Srivasa Thakur led one kirtan, Advaitacharya led one kirtan, or did the dancing, Haridas Thakur, and Lord Chaitanya said, "But Nityananda Prabhu, you must stay with me." And they danced through the streets. And that is a great history. Anyone who saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dance, ecstatic prema bhakti erupted in their hearts. and he went to the house of Chankasi. Thousands of people were chanting, millions chanting Hare Krishna. And others, in a parallel chorus, were chanting, "Kill the Kazi." Kazi was quite frightened. He sent some of his guards. "What is this? Sounds like some Hindu wedding ceremony. Go out and stop it." They went out with their clubs and their weapons to stop it. But when they saw millions of people chanting, "Kill the Kazi," and when they saw Mahaprabhu in his ecstasies of love of God, they put their beards under their... and they took off their turbans. And they started dancing and chanting so that they wouldn't be detected. And then they went back to the Kazi and they said, "Nimai Pandit's out there with millions of people and they are very angry." "We'll go out and stop them." we try. Not possible. And then they came to Chankazi's house and they started breaking down the walls and trampling the gardens, and the Mahamantra was going loud, but so was something like that. Chankazi, he had control of the military and everything else. What did he do? He ran upstairs into some closet and hid. The Lord came to his door, talked to one of his secretaries, "Bring Chankazi immediately." Chankazi came down. He was very shy. He was quite meek and humble, actually. And Nimai said, "I'm a guest at your house. Why you're hiding? Why you don't come?" And he said, "But you're a very angry guest." "And you have millions of angry guests with you." He said, "Actually, Nimai, I was from the same village as your maternal grandfather, Nilambar Chakravarti, and according to tradition, because I'm from his village, I'm considered his brother. Therefore, I am your uncle. And in family affairs, even if the uncle does some mistake or does something wrong, still the nephew will forgive him." They talked so many things about calculating and about religion and about the personality of Godhead. And Chankazi became very, very much transformed by Lord Chaitanya's association.